Early in the morning.
So the verdict is in, guys. After a 6+ week trial, weeks and weeks of witnesses, evidence, proof, the verdict is in. The jury has made their decision and Diddy has ultimately gotten away with it. He has gotten away with heinous crimes. He has bust case. Now, while he got found guilty of one of the charges, which we're going to talk about in a minute, he got found not guilty of the serious charges, which was the Rico charge, the racketeering charge, and the sex trafficking charge. He ended up getting guilty for transportation of prostitution or something like that. Prostitution transportation. How is prostitution transportation not similar to sex trafficking? I'm not too sure. I'll have to look into the pure definitions of these things, but they sound pretty similar to me. But either way, he got away with the most serious crimes. He's defeated, he's beat all the odds. It's not unlikely that Diddy will be released today, or at least in the next few days, next week or so. He won't be seeing jail. They'll be pushing for him to be released, possibly time served. I think the maximum sentence you can get for transportation of prostitution is 10 years. He ain't doing no 10 years for that. He got away with the biggest crimes. A lot of people will have mixed opinions. Some people think Diddy should have gone down for this. Some people didn't. Some people don't think he should have got down for this. Some people think he's a monster. Some people would just think he's freaky. I think this is a failure for the judicial system, mainly because it proves time and time again that victims won't ever be believed. It proves that no matter what a victim goes through, if your money's long enough and your connections are long enough, powerful people will get away with things. It proves that you could say no to something 100 times in your life, but if you say yes once, twice, 5 times, they will use that against you. They will use the times you said yes to paint you as a willing participant. Cassie, for example, we know she was a willing participant once upon a time. She enjoyed the freak-offs. She enjoyed taking the drugs, but there came a point where the manipulation and the control that Diddy had over her, it meant that at some point she no longer wanted to partake in this, and it became an errand, it became a chore, it became forced labor. Diddy wants a freak off, Diddy gets a freak off. Diddy wants to get drugs involved, Cassie don't want to get drugs involved. Doesn't matter, Cassie will do drugs and entertain a freak off. But because she was willingly a participant once upon a time, the defense were very good at showcasing that. And that's a shame, you know, that's a shame. I said in my community post yesterday when I posted a poll or a vote, do you think he's cooked or do you think he's walking free? And I said in the post, I think he's gonna bust this. You know, of all the evidence, you'd expect him to get guilty on something, but he's gonna bust the biggest ones, and that's exactly what happened. And it's very disappointing, very disappointing. But this is the reality of the situation. And as I said, while I'm disappointed, there are a lot of people in my comment section who think this is blown out of proportion. A lot of people think Diddy ain't a monster. Diddy's just a rich man who has a lot of money. He's very powerful and he likes to have freaky parties. Should he be held accountable for that? You know, men like to, whatever, spend money on brasses and hookers and drugs and have parties. For me, it's way beyond that, man. If you know what Diddy is, you know he's part of the Boule society. You know he's an occultist. Those freak-offs were nothing more than sex magic rituals. This is a fact. Yeah, these were nothing more than sex magic rituals because he is an occultist. It's not even like he's enjoying it himself. It's not even like he's participating like that. He's a voyeur, watching people that he has control over be intimate with other people and then using the body fluids to rub on himself and perform rituals. That's literally what it is. There's no way this is just normal type of freak. This is someone who ain't got no soul. So yeah, as you can see on your screen, it says Diddy fist pumps and drops to knees after verdict return. Diddy turned to his family and dropped to his knees and prayed after the judge stopped talking. Prayed to the devil below, I know that for a fact. As the verdict came in, Diddy sat and shook his fist victoriously. When each juror was asked if this was a true and correct verdict, Diddy looked at each one and nodded at them. He displayed prayer hands at the jurors afterwards. His family clapped and cheered after Diddy got up from his hands and knees. The overflow room cheered so loudly. At one point, Diddy stood up, looked up and wiped his face with his hands in relief. Now, guys, we all know that Diddy is a pure narcissist. He's an egomaniac. In that moment, he was literally thinking, I am God. I am invincible. When I come out of this, when I come out of this court, when I come out of jail and I hit the world again, I'm going to be the biggest thing since sliced bread. I'm going to be the talk of the town. And no one can actually say anything to me because I didn't get convicted in the court of law. Yeah, people always hide behind innocent until proven guilty. But every single day, innocent people are locked up in jail. Every single day, guilty people walk free every single day. And he's one of those people. Now, while it's true that some people were willing participants, there's a fine line between doing things on your own accord and being coerced into them, being blackmailed into them. And I feel that the prosecution team failed to really highlight how much of a monster Diddy actually is. And the defense team did a great job just showing, listen, this is a rich man who likes to party and he's a little freaky. And it came out on top, you know what I'm saying? He came out on top. As you can see on your screen, judge to decide on whether Diddy can be released today. Judge Arun Subramanian said he would decide this afternoon whether Diddy can be released on bond later today. He has allowed both parties to submit their arguments at 1 p.m. when a decision will be made. He would be a fool, which he is not, to violate any condition, Combs' lead attorney said. Now, just in terms of some of the things that he got acquitted of, he actually got acquitted of the trafficking and the racketeering, the two most serious charges. But he's been found guilty on 2 counts. The jurors found him guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution. However, he was acquitted of the racketeering conspiracy and the trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Cassie's lawyer actually left a statement. They said, this entire criminal process started when our client Cassie Ventura had the courage to file her civil complaint in November 2023. Although the jury did not find Combs guilty of trafficking Cassie beyond a reasonable doubt, she paved the way for a jury to find him guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution. By coming forward with her experience, Cassie has left an indelible mark on both the entertainment industry and the fight for justice. We must repeat, with no reservation, that we believe and support our client who showed exemplary courage throughout this trial. She displayed unquestionable strength and brought attention to the realities of powerful men in our orbit and the misconduct that has persisted for decades without repercussion. This case proved that change is long overdue and we will continue to fight on behalf of the survivors. So yeah, obviously a lot of people have been bashing Cassie. A lot of people think she was just a willing participant. They would look towards some of the evidence of some text messages where she was saying, you know, I want to have a freak off and all these things. And when you look at messages like that, it's hard to deny when you look at it through a narrow lens, you know. But you have to look at these things through a broader lens. You have to look at it holistically. You have to look at the nuances, right? As I said at the start, she could have texted multiple times in the first year, 2 years, 3 years, saying, I'm down to do drugs, Diddy, I'm down for a freak off. Bearing in mind, this is the man that she loves, the man that manipulated her emotions and was physically abusive to her. But then the last 7 years, she could have been like, I'm not down. I don't think I want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. All you want to do is a freak off. I feel like a piece of meat to you. I don't want to do this anymore, right? And that's irrelevant now because she said yes once upon a time, yeah? They all look to Cassie as a slag, someone who played around with other men. They would paint her as a cheater, not counting and dismissing the fact that Diddy was literally abusing this woman, manipulating her, yeah, gaslighting her, dealing with other women himself. But as soon as she steps out, oh no, that's a problem. And that's where our misogyny comes in society. But at the end of the day, yeah, we as humans decided that juries, trials were necessary to convict people, and this is what we get. You know, you have to have a fair trial, and yeah, I'm not surprised in the slightest that he got away with this. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. I'm currently in Silverstone. I'm gonna be sleeping in my car for the next 4 days. Like, you lot, honestly, I'm telling you, I'm really one of the hardest working people, bro. Like, I'll literally be sleeping in dormitories, tents and cars, all while getting YouTube videos out, man. Like, it's kind of nuts. But my battery's gonna run out. So anyway, man, let me know your thoughts. Are you lot surprised? Do you think he'll be back on the streets soon as? Let me know, man. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay vigilant. Peace.